Hello, and welcome back to Blueprints. I apparently had issues starting the recording, so sorry we didn't get to watch the cool intro again. Today's day 41. Um, Last time we drafted a dormitory and read I think, volume 2 of Drafting Strategy, which assuming there are only 5, is probably the last one, which is great. We learned some things about the furnace and the freezer, which clarified things that I didn't know, or that I knew a little bit about, but not all of. I don't think I ever really vocalized this, but I had assumed that to get everything I needed, the freezer and the furnace had to be like adjacent to each other, which is really hard to pull off. But apparently, it's based on how many ranks they are apart. So I'm assuming if they're on the same rank, even if they are, a few rooms apart on that rank, it should be the maximum closeness that we need to pull off whatever we need to pull off in there. What else did we do? We got another axe. We axed the cloister, so next time we draft a cloister, shouldn't cost us any gems, which is awesome. And I think that's like the third room we've axed. I'm just so happy to have the armory. I can't believe I went so long without it, but it's okay. We're doing it now, and it's good. We also got the treasure trove and started a little puzzle in there. Now, here's the thing about that. I opened up that chest in the treasure trove, and it had a little note in there. And the note in there said, "All green memos you find in this room are true." And I was like, great, that is such useful information. Then I was like, well, if I'm going to need to know what all the memos are, especially green ones and things that are maybe a little less clear, I should go back and rewatch my footage of the reservoir and opening up all those boxes and see what other useful information I got from those. Because I assumed I was done with the notes in the boxes and figured I might not need to use those anywhere else. But since I do, I went back, rewatched it, wrote some things down, and I found some very interesting things that I would like to share with you. So, first of all, I wrote down blue memos are true. We know that from the security office. Typed red memos are false, and written red memos are true. We know that from the security office with the magnifying glass. Green memos in Hartley's room are false. We know that from the dark room with the magnifying glass, looking at one of those pictures. It was a memo that was being held up by, I don't know, somebody. I want to say, no, I'm not sure who that was. I think it may have been a picture of Caleb Manning and his publisher, so maybe one of those two. I can't say I remember that for sure, though. Okay. After that, I saw green memos in white boxes are actually false. So this was in the reservoir on one of the blue memos that I found. So we know it's true for sure. It says green memos in white boxes are false. Now, the memo that we found in the treasure trove was actually a green memo in a white box. So the fact that it was a green memo probably means I should have realized that, I don't actually know if what's on this is true. But now that I've been back to the reservoir, at least in my footage, now I know that green memo is actually false, for sure, because it's a green memo in a white box, and I know that that's true from a blue memo, which I know is true. So, yeah. Crazy stuff. So now I know that not all the green memos in that room are going to be true, and that I'll have to use some other information to determine whether or not they are true. Okay, and on top of that, I also got 3 other useful things. Green memos in blue boxes are always true. I think I found that because... Yes, that was actually on a green memo in a blue box, which doesn't tell me much on its own because it could be true or false. But I found another box with a blue memo that says all boxes marked with a sun contain memos that are true. And so that green memo in a blue box was actually marked by a sun. And since it was marked by a sun, and I know that sun boxes have true memos in them, then I know that that green memo is true, and therefore all green memos in blue boxes are true. So if I come across another green memo in a blue box, that'll be really helpful information. I'm trying to think, is there anything else really interesting that we did last time? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, anyway. Gonna get started now. Yes, there we go. And we're gonna go draft an outer room, I think is what they're called. You'd think I know that by now. It has been a while since I've played, so I was glad to look at footage to refresh myself with that, and turned out to be really helpful in other ways too. We're obviously going with Schoolhouse now that classrooms are free, because man, this should be pretty straightforward, and I'm really excited about that. Still intrigued by the fact that I can turn all of these back off. I wonder if that'll be useful at some point. I have to imagine probably. I don't know why you'd be able to turn them back off otherwise. I'll try to keep a mental note that there's a dig spot in there, although one dig spot doesn't seem like much to come back for, but we'll see. Okay, so we are on our way with the treasure trove to figuring out what's going on in there. All it takes are keys, which we will need. So, I have 4 gems. I feel like I need to do library because I need to do library. I've been talking about it for a while, especially since I need to do it twice. So there's my once, and we will do History of Arindia, 1st edition, unredacted, by Caleb Manning. And next time, it'll be great. Anything in here that I don't know about yet? My sad, imperfect record for parlors. It is what it is. I'm making my way with upgrade discs. Definitely making my way with Sanctum keys. Yeah, Armory is definitely a favorite. And I sure will not be passing that up, especially if I can get an X. Last time may have been when we got the Lucky Purse, although it's been so long since I've had a library that I'm not sure. Definitely within the last couple of episodes. So we're also well on our way to having all contraptions made. That's not everything in here. The fact that I still don't know what these 8 little squares are on this page is insane to me, because that means there's yet another large mystery that I haven't even begun to figure out yet. Okay, highest grade is 6. We're aiming for possibly 9. Really 8 plus an annex, I think. So, yeah. Okay. Glad I got a library. Time to move on. Yeah, classroom. Might as well get started on that. They're free. Oof. Sorry for the frame drops. Thank you for the apple. Let's keep going. Ooh, a study. Redrawing is very helpful. Getting that early on is also very helpful. There's also a gem in there. We're also early, so I should be doing dead ends while I can, and while it's not too punishing. And another apple too. Very nice. And the gem. Alright, cool. It reminds me I still need to bring a magnifying glass into the drafting studio. So hopefully I can do that soon. I don't have any mechanical rooms, so this would not be helpful to me. I think that means that the entrance would be the only door. I could be wrong about that. Let's do workshop. There's definitely going to be an item in here. Shovel. Do I go ahead and bring that back out since I'm so close to the entrance? Maybe. Let's draft this. What do I want this to be? Dormitory could be nice to have right at the beginning. What was it that I found in there last time that I thought they might have every time? Hall pass. Hall pass does something. I don't remember. This could also be really good right at the start. I'm also a little worried about blocking myself off, but maybe I shouldn't be. Let's do this. We've got plenty of bedrooms that we have not drafted because this is our first one, so I think it'll be helpful, maybe the most helpful overall. And then we're just going to be careful not to block ourselves out of progress. I'm going to go back and dig this hole because I'm close, and I definitely won't be doing it later. And who knows what could be in there. Could be trash, could be like car keys or something. I don't know. It's an old tin can. Well, it's only a few steps. Not that big of a deal. Probably. You know, I'll change my mind completely when I run out of steps this run, but for now, it feels fine. Okay. Gallery. Oh, yeah. Huh. What's funny is that this was on the security footage, and I was like, oh, I don't really recognize that room, but it might be the gift shop, so I'll just assign it a G, the letter G to it. No, it's a gallery. It's its own room, and it's a puzzle room, which is the only one that I think we found aside from parlor and break room, formerly known as billiards room, which I was just complaining about. Not complaining, but just like, wow, we haven't seen one of those when we were reading the drafting strategy thing last time. It's new. I think I have to get it. And it's a puzzle. I have a hard time turning those down. Thick. Yep, okay. That's an infinity symbol with nails in it. I've seen that infinity symbol in a lot of places. Even in the classroom, they have like little numbers up on the, like one of the banners around the walls. And instead of an 8, it has that infinity symbol. But I've seen it other places too. These are 7 deadly sins. Yes. Hubris, I guess also pride is another word for that. Envy, lust, wrath, gluttony, sloth, avarice, or greed. Christopher Manson, acrylic and oil on canvas, collection of Mount Holly. Christopher Manson. Whoa. D G H L M N R T D. Okay. And it cycles through. Okay. This is an interesting room. I'm liking it already, even though I have no idea what's going on. It looks like we can write different words next to the paintings. Maybe. Oh, I'm naming it. Ooh. What's the name of the painting then? It's Infinity. It has nails in it. There's like a animal pelt in front of it. There are bins all around with the 7 deadly sins on them. There's a painting with a shark fin coming out of the water. Oh, I have no clue. Okay, what about this one? I have no idea what this device is over here. But this is the word thick. It seems to be sitting on top of water or ice or something. Obviously, the K is not nearly as thick as all these other letters. There's a hand that seems to be kind of like a comet or a shooting star or something. And it's also holding handcuffs. Christopher Manson. Do I know who Christopher Manson is? Probably should. Stop. Stop, kind of. It's like mirrored. It's fire hydrants, apples, flowers. I think roses, probably. And there's a P. It's a big P. And over here, we have a sign that says actual objective this way. We have Vera. We have Genu. I don't know. Huh. Okay, what are these things in the middle? Are they anything? They're chests? People are carrying them on their back, kind of. Do I recognize the face of this person? Is that Herbert? Maybe. Kind of looks like him. Okay, not a lot to go on in here, which is kind of exciting, kind of concerning, because I am the type who will just spend an hour looking around a single room before I find an answer to something. It's possible I'll spend a little bit of time continuing to talk through my thoughts, and then I might like pause the recording and be right back to when I have maybe come across something that might work. Okay. This one has the most words on it. I think it has more things that I kind of understand. And this is an 8-letter word. I mean, gluttony is an 8-letter word. Maybe I'm just being influenced by the fact that this starts with a G. But like, I could try to see if... no, it doesn't look like it. This is all vowels and H and R. Okay, well... I assumed these would be in alphabetical order, and they're not. So, that's fine. This doesn't start with any vowels. Okay. What happens if I just put a letter? Very nice. I hope this puzzle really isn't just like interpreting the meaning of works of art, because that is not my strong suit. 7 deadly sins. There's like an open door too. I didn't realize before that it was open, but it seems to be open just a little bit. There's the shark. There's the infinity. Are there any in here that I would have more hope of understanding what's going on? I really don't know. This one's only a 6-letter word. Are these like... Oh, I don't remember what they're called. But they're like puzzles. I'm doing a really great job of explaining what I'm talking about. Mostly because I can't think of an example. But like, it's kind of like a pun, like a wordplay type of thing, where the word could be like pee on something, and it would spell pawn wagon or whatever, and that would be a word. I'm sure that might be what it is, and then everyone will know what I'm talking about once I figure that out. Once I figure out one of these and can explain how that one works, but currently I just can't think of an example. These are wagons. They are flying, or they're just in the air. They have various things in them. In fact, they have the same things in them, except this one has a P on it. I'm willing to bet it starts with a P. Seems like that would make sense to me. If it can be P-O-N, I feel like that might also make sense. But after that, I'm not sure. Just trying to think of... Yeah, okay, that did something. What did it do? Oh. Okay, it lowered it so that I can reach it. I was just thinking of 6-letter words that start with P-O-N. I'll have to think about why that works. Why does that work? P on D-E-R. Does D-E-R mean something that I'm not realizing? Oh man, I was really hoping that once I got one, I would be able to explain it. And now I can't. Why is this ponder? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this one's think. Is it thin K? Is that what I'm getting? That would be a good one that I can actually like explain. Okay. Yes. Awesome. We got one. Oh, it's just a little gem. Oh no, it's multiple gems. It just takes a while to open. Okay. So that's 2 gems from that one chest. I wonder if the other one also has 2 gems. Maybe. I have a theory. It's not a correct theory. I was gonna think. Oh, and it's also not enough letters anyway. But I was thinking maybe like sinking because these are sins, and this is kind of like the king of the sins, Sin King. No, it is not. These are also like vices. Maybe that would be a word that could be in here. But I don't think there's a V at the beginning either. So it would have to be somewhere else in the word. I don't know. Having trouble with that one. Let me look at this one. This has 7 letters. Okay, I'm realizing this is probably veritable because it's a vary table. This is a genuine. It's like genuine, as in it's a wine with genu on it. Maybe that's more of like a pronunciation thing, I think. But then there's this sign back here that's actual objective, and then there's like a light back there. All these eyes. Man, this is much more difficult than I thought the puzzles in this game were going to get. At least like the little puzzle rooms. How long can I stare at this before it makes sense? Actual objective. There's veritable. I mean, have I tried just genuine? Is that something I could... What letter was that? I don't even know. L, H... Okay, I don't think there's a... Is that an F? Is that an S? No... Oh, I guess I could just check over here. That's an S. Okay. I still don't even know if I understand this one. Ponder. P-on-der? P-on... D-E-R. I'm not sure I understand that. Yeah, I do not know. This one was like immediately. Once I kind of understood what I was looking for, this one made sense. But this is basically the only one. This one kind of made sense because I knew what to start with, but I'm not sure how the rest of this plays into it. can't move these around anymore. Just kind of seeing what letters are available to me. Okay. I have to be right back. It's possible I might just stare at these for a little while longer anyway. So when I get back, I will either just keep staring at things, or I'll have an answer, or I'll just move on. All right. See you then. Okay. I'm just back because it looks like I might be able to type the word success under here. So I'm going to try it and see if it works. I don't know if... No. Okay. It's not. I also am so... like in my own head that I actually don't even know if that's how you spell the word success anymore. It might not be, so please feel free to make fun of me if that is not how you spell that word. Yeah, I'm thinking hard. Okay, I'll be back again. Okay, I think I am gonna call it quits with these puzzles. Still have no idea what this is, really. I mean, I know it's ponder, but I don't know why. I looked up the spelling of success. It has 2 C's, which I can't even do there. So, and I still have no leads on these 2 at all. Maybe something will come to me later. Not sure. But I think it's time to move along, continue playing the game. I think classroom should be fine here. I do need some keys soon, I think. But I think for now this should be fine. I guess if this is locked, then it's not fine. But then I will have learned my lesson, and next time I'll do better. Okay, not locked. Probably about time to try to get keys. So maybe we'll redraw until we get something that kind of makes sense in that regard. Could do chapel and go to those lower rooms and see if I can get keys there. Let's redraw though. Den might be even better. I mean, it is better than chapel. Yeah, let's put a den there. I do need a key. There's not one in here. Okay. Let's go down. That has a key. Could redraw and try to get to the bottom corner though, which I think I'll go ahead and do. I've got plenty of gems. I just need keys. Could do pool. Could allow me to do pump room stuff, which I am now failing to remember if I did. No, I don't think I've done pump room stuff since draining the reservoir. So, sure. Why not? And then down here is where I would really like a key. So, yeah, we'll redraw. Break room. Yes, I'll take that. Break room has keys. Maybe I'll have more luck with this puzzle. Maybe I won't, because these are getting pretty hard too. Okay, so that's 6. This I assume is 9. 3 squared, right? It's a blue center with a square. Maybe 3 squared. Okay. Then this is 2 squared, which is 4, plus 1. I don't know if I need to square the 1, but it doesn't matter in this case because it's 1. So that would be 5. And then that's minus 20, which does not come up with a number that I can use here. And I can't like do all of this and then square it, because that would be 2 plus 1 is 3, minus 20 is negative 17, and then square that. That would be a positive number, but it wouldn't be one of these. So what am I not getting here? There's something that I am not really understanding. Am I seeing all the numbers correctly? That is a 2 down there that this is pointing at. Yes. This is a 1. This is a 20. Am I remembering the colors correctly? I'm almost positive I am. The blue means add. The yellow means subtract. Pink means multiply, and purple means divide. Okay, let me restart just to see if there's any other way that these make sense. 6? Yeah, it's just a positive 6. Sounds good. 3 squared is 9. I don't think there's any other way. I was literally about to say out loud, maybe you just add 3 to itself 3 times. Which is exactly what I did. So that, I feel like that's the only way that makes sense. So 2 squared is 4. Order of operations goes outward, so next in line would be this 1. So you just add 1. Am I adding 1 and then squaring again? So is this 2 squared is 4, plus 1 is 5, and then square that is 25, minus 20 is 5? Yes. Interesting. So am I squaring after every blue one? So 2 squared is 4, minus 2 is 2, plus 2 is 4, squared is 16? Yes. Okay. Interesting. I don't know if I knew that. So now I'm squaring after every yellow, I think. So 10 plus 5 is 15. Minus 20 is negative 5. Squared is 25. Minus 20 is 5. Squared is 25. Divided by 5 is 5. Oh boy. Okay. Well, at least I get that. And maybe not the key I was hoping for, but it at least works where I am. So I guess I can be thankful for that. Okay. Yeah, this is the only way to go. Okay, thankfully it's not locked. Could do gymnasium. I don't know if I really want to spend any more gems, so I might just do that. Yeah. We're early, we have steps. I think that's fine. Thank goodness this is not locked. Corridor would actually not be bad here. So let's do that. Okay, thank goodness. Although none of these point at the foundation, which is, I'd really like them to be. Yeah, I'll redraw. I mean, courtyard is another gem, but it is pointed where I want it to be, and it might have items in it too. So, I think that's probably my best bet. Nothing. So nice. How about here? A coin. Okay. And no item over here. Man, this run might be a little short. It's not looking like I'm having much luck. Either that or I'm making bad decisions, which certainly it can't be that. Obviously, I'm making all the best decisions. Okay. No, I want to go this way. I've been very lucky with not needing a key so far. I have not been lucky with the way things are facing. I need to get a dancer, a blessing of the dancer. I should get a commissary because I have coins and that might help me. Yeah, let's get a metal detector, let's get a sledgehammer, sure, let's get a salt shaker, and yes, I will buy all the gems that I can. Don't know if it was wise to spend all my money, but I think that's the best option I have right now. Of course it is locked. I'm gonna go check the other one. Don't know why I went all the way around that pillar. Sometimes you just have to do that, I guess. Okay, this is unlocked. That's at least kind of nice. The only one that goes through is Dark Room. I mean, Dark Room's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah. I really like all the dead ends that I'm seeing. I just can't... I don't feel like I can afford to do those right now. Yeah, let's go ahead and use Secret Garden Key here, because that'll open up all the different directions, and I get to dig. A broken lever is, I guess, better than nothing. Is that really the only dig spot? What is going on with these dig spots? I mean, I guess I probably put this on bad soil, but I feel like I'm not seeing a whole lot. There's the west. Should I go ahead and also do the other one that this one does? East, south, whichever one. Probably east, right? Yeah, probably east. Do I remember how to do that? Oh, I don't walk in, I just... Do I just point them all east? Is that what I do? I already have no idea. I think they're all pointing the same way. At least the bottom two were. Okay, yes. Okay, so I just point them all in the direction of the door that I want to open, or something. Okay. I don't know if that's helpful at all right now. I wish I could pick all these fruits, get all the steps that I need. But that's okay. This is unlocked. Why am I getting so many dead ends? Sure, give me a dormitory. You seem to really want to. Okay, yes, I will take the key card. That's actually really helpful. Thank you. Yeah, so last time it was hall pass, this time it's key card. Yeah, I will for sure accept that. Surely I already know that Kararka is orange, right? Yeah, I have to. I think that was in the puzzle. Well, I have a colored border around it, so I will assume... No, I won't assume. I shouldn't assume things. I think that that's probably the correct color. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Now, I really hope this isn't locked. It is. I have one key. Do I want to use it here or at the foundation? Probably at the foundation. And then I can at least use gems to redraw over and over if I need to. In terms of making a path that makes sense. Thank you. I don't know if I'm just missing all the fruit or if they're just appearing, but I guess I'll take it. Yeah, let's use a key. Okay, chapel could be good. This would have been good before drafting Secret Garden, because now I've already dug in that room. I really want one that goes to the right. Chapel does that. But I think I'd rather have something else. Mechanarium. What mechanical rooms have I seen so far? Just workshop. So this will have one other door. Which could be locked. Okay, redraw. Hallway doors are all unlocked. That would mean for sure the end of this one would be unlocked. So I think we go with that. Even though it's not going in the direction I really want it to. Just gonna take a quick look through here again. Count Isaac Gates. Okay. Not sure. Baron Edwin Sinclair. Okay. Major Nicholas Key the Fourth. Baron Thomas Sinclair and Lord William Epson. Yeah, I don't know. Something's up with this room, but I don't know what it is. I wish I could rotate. Rotating would be super helpful. I feel like I have to take it. I need a key. This is probably over soon, but... Okay, there's a key. There's a prism key. Okay. That's not too bad. Okay, that's unlocked. Could try this to see if the end of this is unlocked from this direction. Although that seems kind of questionable. Let's do pantry. Got that. Thank you. It is locked. Okay. It has been forever since I've seen just a regular hallway. So maybe I do... Oh, you draw floor plans of the same color. That's right. That's the only way that's useful. Okay. So do I use a key here or at the secret garden? I don't even have ways to redraw. So maybe I go back to secret garden because I'm more likely to get a green room over there. And green rooms tend to be better about giving items and things like that. And then after that, I think we're done because I'm kind of doubtful that I will get what I need. Yeah, go up here. Man, this has been a kind of a rough episode because I don't like giving up on puzzles and I don't like when my runs are not very good. I guess I could guarantee that this is a green room. Sure. I'd at least have another key after that. Sure. Although I maybe should have gone with the aquarium since I tend to find a key in there. That's alright. I do have a sledgehammer, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. It was the right call after all. Whew, okay. We can save this. We can potentially save this run. I need more gems. I'm not even going to be able to get all the classrooms in this one, which is so frustrating. Because they're free and it should be easier. The letter B appears twice on the box that contains the gems. Okay, well, if that's true, then it could be this one. Okay. All statements that contain more than one B are true. Okay. The blue box contains gems. Okay, so this one can't be true. Because if this one's true, then all three of them are true. So, this one's false, which means one of these has to be false in order for this to actually be false. But they can't both be false. So maybe this one's false, the blue box contains gems. This one's true, the letter B appears twice on the box that contains the gems, which it does on this one. So this one would contain the gems, right? So this one would be false. This one would be false. This one would be true. And the gems would have to be in here. Yes. Alrighty. Why are all the classrooms facing the wrong way? Maybe I should have been more on the right side for this. And why do I keep getting so many dead ends? The thing is, I have to... Oh, goodness. Okay, I have to redraw here. Because this is a dead end if I don't. Oh, goodness. I think gymnasium is actually probably the best fit. So we'll do that. That's locked. I don't necessarily want to use my key right there just yet. I will use it here because I have more options from here. Oh my goodness. What is up with this? Okay, here's the thing. I could put a dead end here. And then if I can get into the antechamber, from the west side, I can actually go through it to the east side, since I've opened both doors. So I think I'm going to get this so I have another key. Yes, thank you. More steps. And then I'm going to go back this way. And I have to get a room that is going to the right. Conference room does that. Let's do it. Oh boy, I have never... I don't know. I feel like I have not had this much trouble drafting in a while. Okay, I don't think I've ever drafted from the antechamber before. I wonder if that does anything special. Okay. I didn't think that would work, but figured I'd try anyway. Yeah, I'll use one of my keys, that's fine. Dining room's not too bad here. That is for sure. Okay. Where's the coins? Is it just the lunchbox? Or am I blind? It's just the metal lunchbox. That's funny though. Oh, should have gotten the aquarium. That's okay. I'll just eat it. I'll have plenty of steps. Thank you. Alrighty. Now I'd like to go down. Yes. Storeroom so I can get more keys. And gems. Alrighty, I did not check to see if the one over here was locked, so I think I'll go back and do that with my many steps. It is locked, okay. So I should probably go from the dining room. Man, this could end at any moment. Feels kind of crazy. Yeah, let's use it. Classroom. I could redraw to see if there's anything that would give me a key. Like a nook or something. Although I've already done a nook, so maybe not. I feel like I get multiple of those. I can't keep track of what I have and what I don't. This feels really risky. Let's do a redraw. Let's do a redraw. Let's do a conservatory. Even if we end the run here, we can at least do something in here, so that's nice. I was kind of hoping for another item. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. What do I do? What do I do? Spare room, commonplace, sounds great. Hallway is somehow commonplace, even though I have not seen it in a million years. Standard. It does cost 1. But it does have a lever, a broken lever. Not a broken lever item, but a broken lever that I need a broken lever to use. Do I want it to be more common? I don't think so. I don't think I do. Okay. Yeah. Every time I need a key. This feels likely to have a key. I'm just gonna do it. I don't see a key. Oh, there's a key. Turnip. Thank you. Okay. Kennel might be helpful at this point. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with kennel. Because then I'll dig in here. I'll pet the dog first because that's the right thing to do. Yeah, I can dig in here. And then this room will be unlocked for sure. Yeah, I think that was the sound effect for unlocking the door, maybe. It's hard to tell when the dogs are actually in here. East Wing Hall. Yes. Yes. Already unlocked anyway, which is perfect. Okay. Let's keep going down. I don't have a furnace. Don't want to cut myself off from gems just yet, I don't think. Yeah, because I want to be able to redraw. Yeah, let's do classroom here. Okay, grade 3. Don't see any other items in here. Not sensing any. Think we're good to keep moving. Yep. Let's just use it. Okay, I can redraw 9 times in here. Did I get any other mechanical rooms? Yes, I got the aquarium. So this would have 3 doors, which is exactly what I need. Although I don't necessarily need to go up from here. So maybe I just do classroom here, because I can go down. Yeah, okay. Didn't use any of my redraws, didn't feel like I had to. Don't have a freaking magnifying glass for this room, because nothing is going my way. That's fine, that's fine. Yeah, it's all good. Is there any information I can get from reading this that I did not have before? Is there a reason why Arinda Aries had 4 rays and Fen Aries only had 3? Which? Sorry. Which? I will finish this sentence someday. I would like to know which realm was the one that didn't support Fen Aries. It was Araja. Really? Okay. Interesting. Right, because the leaders of Arinda Aries fled south, presumably into Araja. Araja did not support Fen Aries in the war. Trying to decide if the rays had to do with like allies. Also, the top left of this page has all the realms kind of lined up in a certain way. Is that meaningful? Why is Kararka in the center? here are my sigil notes. Where's Kararka on the map? It's all the way in the west. It is huge. And Orange Ares is up at the top. Arinda Ares at the top right. Is that Nuance at the bottom right? No, that is Araja, of course. Nuance is at the bottom. Bottom left is Vera. And top left is Morajai. Just trying to think if there's like any sense to be made of that sign, or that diagram. Well, Arch Ares, Arinda Ares, Araja, and Nuance in that diagram are all kind of lined up vaguely like they are on the map. And what about Morajai and Vera? Kind of. Not necessarily in relation to Kararka. But I mean, Morajai is north of Vera. Don't understand. The Great Tress. Interesting. I can look at this one. There's the infinity symbol again. Right, there seems to be like a continent or landmass at the South Pole that's not on these big maps. Don't know what it is. Yeah, don't know what's going on there. Okay, I think I've looked at that for long enough, considering I don't have a specific reason to be looking at it other than just trying to learn random things. Do I want to redraw until I get a classroom that faces the way I want it to face? I could. Could also get an armory. What is in the armory that would be helpful? The shield. Don't know if I care too much about the shield right now. That is a classroom that's facing the way I want it to face. Sure. It might be locked though. That's the only thing. There's an apple that I don't really need at this point. It is locked. Look at that. Okay, so I have to go back to East Wing Hall, which is fine because that one's unlocked because it's a hallway. And I need to ensure that I get a key of some sort. Which probably means I need to redraw here. I could risk the room above the classroom being unlocked. I mean, I think all three of these are a risk, right? I don't think any of these are guaranteed to have a key. This one could have 2 gems. It could have coins. I mean, it would double my coins, but I'm not sure how much that really means. This one I don't think is guaranteed to have a key. It has a gem for sure. Yeah, I think we have to go to the classroom. Right, this is the one with the projector and all the pictures of the war and the, yeah, multiple choice exam. Okay. I mean, my metal detector is not going off, so I don't think there's a key in here. Is this locked? It's not. And I can redraw in here, which is nice. Don't know why I didn't think about that. Mechanarium will have... Will one of its things have a key? There's a sanctum key in one of them, but I don't know if it gets replaced with a different kind of key. And there's a lever, but that's not helpful. And sanctum key would not be the one that opens up anyway. I want to say it was just like there was one that had like a regular key in it. Or maybe a silver key. Risky. I can redraw until I get one that I know for sure has a key. I think that would be a better move. It's not working out so far, but I've got time. Could do pump room. I could do pump room and go back to the pool and unlock the 2 chests, which would likely have at least 1 key between the 2 of them. And I have plenty of steps to do that with. That is tempting. It might be my best bet. And I want to do pump room eventually anyway. The only caveat to that is that I was thinking that I don't remember if there's any other information in the 3 chests at the bottom of the reservoir that I had already opened before my last big chest opening spree. And I don't remember if those had any useful information on them in regards to what all of the green memos do. I don't think there were. I think I opened one chest that was like the chests with green memos near here are false or whatever. So I don't think there's anything in there that I need to worry about. So I'm thinking about just doing pump room. And draining the pool. Yeah. I think that is a decent play. Pebbles. That's nice. Okay. Right. This is full of water, which I think is good overall. I don't need to fill anything all the way. Yeah. So what I want to do instead is I want to start filling the reservoir and I want to drain the pool. And I'll fill the fountain too, because I don't need the fountain to be empty at all. So, how do I do that? Let's fill the fountain, which is right here. I think it's, I don't remember which one fills that's fine. Which one is, the pool is on the last one, which only goes to this tank. So I want to make sure we're emptying this tank. Yes. Okay, am I near the kennel? Yeah, I guess I am. Interesting. Okay. Yes, there we go. Let's fill the fountain. Wow, I cannot believe I'm still going on this run. I thought for sure it was over like 15 runs ago. Okay. Now I want to drain the pool. That is what I want to do. Drain the pool. So this way. Pool. And I think I should just be able to press the buttons. Yes. That's convenient. All right. Thank you. I wonder if there's a point to draining the kitchen. Not really sure. I actually still don't know if there's a point to draining the greenhouse. I know it works. I know that the water stops working in there, but don't really know what the benefit of that would be. I do kind of know the aquarium benefit, but I'm not sure what to do with that yet. Okay, now we make the long trek back to the pool. Yeah. Okay, I'll pet you again. I think I'm okay with petting a dog more than once. Alrighty. I think we go through the antechamber. Don't think I've spread anything. Not through here. Go this way. Oh, there's something I did not pick up. But where? Oh, it's a coin. Thank you, metal detector. Yeah, we keep going down all the way. Easy enough. I can see it from here. Alrighty, there's a banana in here. I must have, oh, maybe after the pantry, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. I think the pantry spreads food around. Thank goodness I got worried after that first chest. Okay, 3 keys. Theoretically, the further we go down, the fewer keys we will need. I would hope anyway. Okay. Yeah, we just go all the way back up. Don't think I can pick up any items in here while the lights are off. Went the wrong way, that's fine. I have the steps to do that. Do I want to? No, I can come back. I have the steps to come back if I want to. You need to make sure I have enough keys to get through these bottom floors. Or these lower ranks, I should say. Yeah. And what I really want are classrooms. Yeah. Use a key. And what grade am I currently in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So next classroom should be new, and I should only have three classrooms left to draft. So if I don't draft a classroom here, then I could put one below me and either below this room or 2 below this room, and I think that would be it. So I think I need to put a classroom here in order to have 3 classrooms, which is fine. I can do that. Yes, this is good. Thankfully, I can redraw so many times that I think this should be simple enough to pull off. All right, I'm realizing this is a new classroom, so I should actually look around. Algebra. A squared times b minus 3 squared. Interesting. This one is not like algebra. I mean, kind of like order of operations that you don't really get into until you take algebra, but I mean, there's no variables. So this would be 900, I guess. Huh. Advanced functions. There are squares and there are diamonds. Interesting. And there are little wavy things, and there can be multiple. Oh my. All right, well, let's look at people's work. 3 squared is 9. 3 squared minus 5 is 4. Yeah. 7 plus 5 squared. I mean, it's minus negative 5 squared. Or no. Wait. I guess it's... I'm getting confused. It's negative 5 squared, which is 25. I think plus 7 would be 32, right? I think that would be right. Okay. So what happens when you have a multiplier in the square thing? Or are we still doing order of operations where you just square whatever number you're at? So maybe is it 7 and then minus 5 is 2, squared is 4, maybe? That would make sense because since they wrote a 4. 3 times 2 is 6, squared is 36. That would also make sense. 2 squared is 4, times 1 is 4, squared is 16. Okay. 5 times 2 is 10, squared is 100. Plus 5 is 105, minus 95 is 10. Squared would be 100. Yes. So that should be 100, I'm pretty sure. Okay. 4 squared is 16. Nope, sorry. 16 square root is 4. Okay. But 12 doesn't have a whole number square root. So how does that work? Because 16 makes sense. If assuming that's square root, 16, square root of 16 is 4. But with the 12, how do you end up with 2? I don't know. 30 minus 5 is 25. Square root would be 5, right? That, I think, makes sense to me. So what's up with 12? 21.7 with the little squiggly line is 22. 21.7 with 2 little squiggly lines is 20. And somehow that bottom one's 40. But also maybe not, because I don't know which ones they got wrong. I know they got the bottom one on the left side wrong, I think. Which means they got 2 more wrong. and I have no idea which two. Okay. I'd like to see somebody who did really well. Remember, don't square till you're there. Gotcha. That, I think, makes sense. What is the square root of 12? Is that something I should know? Am I going to need a calculator? Maybe. Don't really want one, though. I mean, I guess I don't need a calculator, but like... I mean, we're kind of working with some decimals, right? So if we're going to do square root of 12 without a calculator, that's somewhere between 3 and 4. So it's 3 point something. Minus 2 would be 1 point something. So why did this person say 19? This person said 2, which if you rounded it might be true. Am I looking at the same two things over and over again? No. That one says 2. That one says 19. And this one says 19. So what makes this 19? What makes this 19? I mean, maybe nothing. Maybe they both got it wrong. But how would you even get 19 from this? That's really my question, I think. This person thinks that the square root thing is reversing the digits because they made 16 into 61. They turned 12 into 21 and subtracted 2 to get 19. And they took 30 minus 5 is 25, and then they reversed it to get 52. I don't know if there's anything to that, but that's what they did. This person seemed to think something similar, right? I mean, at least for those first two. Let me look at the better one, the better paper. I think the entire left side is right except the last one, right? So 9, 4, 4, 36, 16. 9, 4. 1 second. Okay. Assuming we're right about the squaring, then we know they got the third one wrong on the left side. 9, 4, 4, 36, 16, I think is what it was. Yeah. So if they got all three of those square root ones wrong, which they may have and they may not have, then they would have gotten those squiggly line ones correct. The question is, did they do it wrong? Because they might not have. They might have gotten those right. This person got 7 out of 12, so they got 5 wrong. They got 4 wrong on the left side, actually. Which means they only got 1 wrong on the right side, which might be the last one. Which means these people might actually be right about the reversing the digits. What if the only 3 this person got wrong are the 3 that I thought were square roots because they thought it was square roots, but maybe it's actually reversing digits. that would make more sense why 12 is on there, because you can't really take the square root of 12, but you can definitely reverse the digits. So then this one, they got the first two right on the left side. They got the last four wrong. And then they got the bottom one wrong because that's not what's on any of these other ones. What about this one, though? They got one wrong on the left side, which means they must have gotten three wrong on the right side. They got the third one wrong. And then two of the bottom ones. $20, $22, and $40. Whereas this one, I think it was $22, $20, and $40. Yeah. Okay. So then I think I can assume it's 9, 4, 4, 36, 16, 100, 61, 19, 52, 22, 20, 40. But how are they getting 22, 20, and 40? That is the real question. So it has a little squiggly, which means what? 21.7 becomes 22. Are we rounding it? We're rounding it to the nearest ones digit. Then it has two squigglies. 21.7 becomes 20, possibly rounding it to the nearest tens digit. And then the bottom one of them has three squigglies, one of them has one. So if we round 59.6 to the nearest 100, that's 100. If we round 59.6 to the nearest 1, then that's 60. 100 minus 60 is 40. Okay. It is possible that I need to start writing these down. Where do I do that? In my notes. I'll just write it right here. Math. Okay, and then square equals square. The current total. Diamond means reverse the current total and squiggly round. How am I going to write this in a way that I understand? I'll just write multiple. That's fine. So the one squiggly is round to ones. That's round to tens. And that is round to hundreds. Okay. That's super helpful, and I think I should not have any more trouble with the break room. Okay, I think that's all that's really important in here. Let's move on. Drawing room would be perfect right here, but I don't have gems, so I can't. Okay, that's fine. I need a place that goes both directions. That doesn't cost gems. I'm realizing that might be hard to come by. Chapel. Yeah, and then we have to somehow ensure that we get a classroom in both directions, which I don't think I can really do. So we'll just have to hope for the best. That's a classroom. Yeah, I think I have to take it. Grade 8. Oh boy. Foreign language. This ought to be good. Okay. Erogen affix pairings. Okay. Ooh. This might be helpful for that person's name in the foyer that I don't really understand. Okay, prefix aj, first, ma, small, ov, toward, nev, new, the start of, l, I, me. Ja is last. Okay, and then all these in reverse are the opposites, which is really interesting. I like that a lot. A lack of myself. Huh. When paired with a verb, can mean I will or I won't. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Ooh, and you have to translate them all the way. Okay. Erogen vocabulary. Lore is word. Hue is house. Tray is tree. Yite is gate. Yate. Loon is water. Dao is day. Nigh is night. Array is future. Early erogen did not use any verbs, so today the rare usage of verbs are comprised almost entirely of loanwords and are mainly used to describe physical actions. Weird. Okay. When am I gonna need this? That's the real question. Okay, that's a blank one. Ajlor will teach Nevlor. Ajlor. First. First word. Really? First word? Not sure that's right. Unless Ajlor is literally hello because it's the first word you say to somebody. Could be. Will teach. Can. Will you teach? A new word, Nevlor. Yeah, okay. The large house is toward the east. Huam ovet. House. Large house. Toward the east. I guess et is east. Ajlor. Yeah, that must mean be hello, because it's the first word you say. We'll go. Interesting. Nevdao. It's maybe goodbye. Because it's a new day. Maybe like see ya in a new day. I don't know. Okay, El swim. Nevdao. Oh, Nevdao is dawn. Also makes sense. I won't read at night. Readla nigh. Yeah, okay. I think that makes sense. The branches of the tree are old. They probably got that one wrong because they have a word for branch. The trunk of the tree is small. They probably got that one wrong because they have a word for trunk. So the first 4 I think would be right. I feel like that makes sense. 5 out of 6. Ajlor Nevlor. Which seems like it would just mean hello new word. So maybe they got that one wrong, and all the rest of these are correct. Ven Treven. Old tree old. Yeah, not sure why that's acceptable, but okay. Trunk of the tree is small. Man of tray. Small new tree. The trunk of the tree is small. The start of. So like small start of a tree. Yeah, I could see that. Ajlor Teach Nevlor, I think is correct. Hua Movet, I think is correct. Elswim Ajdo. Yeah, no. Nevdo. Right, because Aj would be first. So that one's not right. Laridnai? Oh, probably should come after read. Branches of the tree are old. Travenven. Gotcha. Okay. Men of Tray. Okay. So it seems like they probably got 3 and 4 wrong. Interesting. Why do I need to know this? That's the real question. So I'll probably just take a picture of this and of this. And maybe of this one too. As long as I remember that the first one I think is wrong. Yeah, because that just says hello new word. Okay. And then we have to just blindly hope that we get a classroom here. We did not. Dang. So close. Oh, there's still a top left, actually. Okay. So there's still a chance. Is there anything I can do to increase that chance? Probably not. So I'll probably just go with guest bedroom, see if I can get myself a nice item. Gem. It's better than nothing. Actually, that'll give me a reroll, so that does increase my chances by just a little bit. Okay, all the way back to the top corner. You know what? For good luck, I will pet this dog. Thank you, dog. Okay. Right, gotta go up. And all the way to the end. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Yes, 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 yes. Classroom. Final exam, please take a seat. Oh, I have to take the exam, don't I? Maybe. 8 years certainly flew by. Yes, it did. I'll take the apple for good luck. Am I actually taking this exam? Oh no, I am, and it's timed. Oh goodness. Your exam has begun. You now have 30 minutes to complete the next 18 pages of questions related to the curriculum covered over the previous 8 grades. If you do not know the answer to a question, skip it and come back later. This is an open book exam, and you may use your notes and may retrieve information from other rooms to help you as long as you complete the test within 30 minutes. After you've completed your exam, it will be graded remotely, and results will be sent to you the following day. Oh goodness. Okay, well I can walk around and find the answers. Sam left his house at 6 a.m. and drove 3 hours north and passed 8 flags. What? He then turned northwest at Tanner Fork and drove another 3 hours and passed 4 additional flags of the same color before arriving at Trinsdale at noon. What color were the flags? This is one of those stupid trick questions, but I mean, Tanner Fork, Trinsdale, those are all in Fen Aries, so red, right? Black is not allowed anymore. Obviously, you can't change your answer, so you have to lock it in immediately. In the scenario above, where does Sam live? The grand city of Fen? Oh, Sam left his house at 6 a.m., drove 3 hours north and passed 8 flags. So he left his house, drove 3 hours north, then turned northwest at Tanner Fork, drove 3 hours and arrived at Trinsdale. So I want to go back and look at the map of Fen Aries because it has those city names on there, and then I can see where he started. What color is most often associated with hallways? Orange. I do know that one. Which of the following would be least patriotic room pairing? Ooh, this is good information for me either way. Greenhouse in Carrarica is not patriotic. Shop in Arch Aries I think is, because I think Arch Aries is yellow. Gotta get out my notes. Arch Aries is yellow, so that would be patriotic. Chapel in Fen Aries is, yeah, Chapel is red, so yes. Bedroom in Araja, so yes. So the least patriotic would be Greenhouse in Carrarica. Unfortunately, that did not give me any new information about colors of realms. That's okay though. What color is the fruit that gives you +3 steps when consumed? Yellow, right? Because apples give you +2. I think oranges give you +5. I think bananas give you +3. I don't know if there's a way for me to figure that out by walking around, so I'm just gonna say yellow. Okay, solve the following problem. That's 5 minus 5 is 0, times 2 is 0, right? Double check, yes. Okay, 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12, times 2 is 24. Solve the following problem. 5 minus 2 is 3, times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16, minus 5 is 11. Okay, solve the following problem. That's 1 plus 0 is 1, times 4 is 4. That doesn't seem right. Maybe that's 10. So 10 times 4 is 40. Divided by 5 is 8. Minus 4 is 4. That makes more sense than trying to take 4 divided by 5. Yeah. Okay. Solve the following problem. 1 times, nope, 1 minus 4 is negative 3. Times 2 is negative 6. Plus 7 is 1. Okay, 3 minus 4 is negative 1. Times 8 is negative 8. Divided by 2 is negative 4. Plus 5 is 1. Which element on the periodic table is represented by the symbol C? Oh boy. Off the top of my head, it's carbon, but I'm gonna go back and check, if I can. Which element appears in the periodic table directly below helium? Maybe oxygen, but I'm gonna check. Which of the following is not a real element? That's cute. I'm gonna write those down. And then I'm gonna look for those on the periodic table. Carbon is C, question mark. Below helium. Real question mark. MT. HO. LL. Y. My gut says LL is not real, but I'm gonna check because I have time, I think. Which element on the periodic table is represented by AG? Oh, I think it's silver, but I'm gonna come back to it because I can, maybe. AG question mark. Which element could not be used in the spelling of the word clues? I don't know what radon is. Uranium. I'm writing all these down. Carbon, radon, chlorine. Okay, how many elements are on the top row of the periodic table? I'm pretty sure it's 2. So I'm just gonna say it. The city of Fen is south of which small body of water? Probably Trinsdale Lake, but I think that should also appear on the map. How many cities in Fen Aries are larger than Reddington? I don't know. Which of the following realms is not near Fen Aries? Kararaka. Which sigil denotes the realm of Arch Aries? This one. What realm is directly north of Araja? Fen Aries. Where are you right now as you take this exam? Mount Holly, Reddington, Fen Aries. Yeah. Which two pieces of art would be best paired to depict the letter B? A hay bale and a mug of ale. Right, bale and ale. Yes. Which following pieces of art was not displayed in the grade 5 classroom? What? Okay, I have to go back and look at that, right? Grade 5 art. That's like specific to this mansion, okay? Which of the following pieces of art is not displayed in Mount Holly's entrance hall? Which following pieces of art is not displayed? Face and Ace are definitely both in there. I think Trinsdale is probably also in there. So I'm thinking Realize is probably the answer, but I'll go back and check. Can you find the difference? Oh goodness, that is... That's Orinda and Orindia, so that's I. Yeah. Who's the first crown lender for the first crowned ruler of Fen Ares. 1 second. Can I? Okay, can't pause the game. The timer keeps going. Which element on the periodic table is represented by the symbol C? Yeah, I already looked at all these. This is where I was. First crowned ruler of Fen Ares. Right. That would be General Teskin, right? I think that was on the exam that they took. I'll go back and make sure. In which era were the railways of Fen Ares destroyed? Probably 6th, right? Because the war was in the 5th era, and then Fen Ares didn't even exist until the 6th era. Yeah. How long did the war of the 5th era last? 22 years. I have that written down. I'm just going to put General Teskin right here. Pretty sure that's right. Which is the first capital city of Fen Ares? Is it Oris? Might have to go back and check that one. Which realm gifted Fen Ares a dirigible to headway their victory parade at the conclusion of the war? I think I'm going to go with Nuance because I saw a dirigible on the Nuance stamp. And I think that's the only way I'm going to know that for sure. The deciding battle of the War of the 5th Era was fought on the southern shores near what famous landmark? Is it Colossus Orinda, maybe? Ooh, I just don't know. The southern shores near what famous landmark? That's the big statue, right? I guess I can go back and look at that picture. Okay, advanced math, here we go. 6 squared is 36. That's -3 squared is 9, minus 3 is 6. This one is 21, because we reverse it. This one is, oh goodness, that is 11, and you divide it by 3, which is 3 2/3, but then you round it to the nearest 1, which would be 4. Okay, this is, okay, 4 squared is 16, plus 5 is 21, times 2 is 42, minus 1 is 41, then reverse it, it's 14. Okay, this is 5, divided by 2 is 2.5, times 3 is 7.5, and you round that to the nearest 10, which is 10. Subtract 1 is 9, times 6 is 54, plus 100 is 154, and you round it to the nearest 100, which is 200. Okay, what is the Erogen word for house? I'm pretty sure it's hue. You know what, I'm gonna look at the picture on my phone because I took it. And it's gonna save me the steps back. It said I can consult my notes, so I'm taking them at their word. Where is the picture that I want? Somehow I did not take the picture that I want. Of course not. Large house. Yeah, that's hue. What does neviate mean in Erogen? Nev means new. I think E8 does mean gate, so I think it means new gate. The phrase Trevenle can be translated in several different ways, which of the following is not an acceptable interpretation. That's tree, that I think Treven might be branch or new, I don't know. What is Ven? I've already forgot. Ven is old, right? So old tree. That old tree is not owned by me. Maybe. It's not mine. Absence of me. That makes sense. My tree is not very old. I don't know about that. I cannot see the tree trunk. I think Traven might mean tree trunk, although I want to say it actually means branches of the tree are old. Ven Traven. I want to say it means more like branches, right? I am not an old tree. That I think could also be true. I'm not sure. How would you say the following phrase in Arajan? You have a very, very long name. I don't even know what name is. Do I even know what long is? Am as a suffix is large. I don't feel like... Da means day, right? Why would day be in the word? And M means large, so I feel like it would end in that. I'll go with that. I'll also say I cannot see the tree trunk. It's probably not a good translation. How would you tell an Arajan count me out? Leavelu? Maybe? That means the absence of me, right? I mean, it could just be the last one, right? There's not really any verbs. This one would be me count away, right? So maybe that one too. I'll go with that one. That seems more specific. Using the provided Arajan terms for cardinal directions above, what would be the clearest way you could give directions to point someone at point A to get them to point B? Okay. The clearest way. Right. Right, the large house toward the east is Huam Ovet, so... man. I don't think that makes sense. I don't think that makes sense because it's kind of northeast. This one has northeast, but it also has south for some reason. Oh, get them to point A to point B. Right, okay. So go a little north and then go a long ways east. And there's a small tree. And then southeast, there's a small southeast and a little west. What? That seems kind of convoluted, but that might also be... first we go north, then east, then toward the tree, and then you go south last away from the tree. I mean, that's not too bad. Yeah, we'll do that. In ancient Arindia, the number 8 was considered by Aegean scholars to be mathematically near perfect, though many in the secular sphere held that only this advanced form of 8 was worthy of numerical perfection. What? This advanced form of 8 was worthy of numerical perfection. Are we double squaring the 8 in that first one? Maybe. In D, we're squaring it and then reversing it. So 46. Have I seen the number 46 anywhere? Maybe. In B, we're squaring it and then rounding it to the nearest 10, which doesn't seem likely. That would be 60. In C, we are squaring it. I actually don't know if the small square means to square, because it's weird. No, you work from inside out, right? So B, you're actually rounding it to the nearest 10 and then squaring it, which is 100. Doesn't really seem like it's related to 8 at all at that point. And then in C, you're doing the opposite. You're squaring it and then rounding it. So that would be 60. I don't know what 64 squared is, or if you're actually just cubing 8. I imagine it's 64 squared though, which could be it. I'm trying to decide if 46 was on that map. Okay, I think it's time to go back to some classrooms with my 8 minutes that I have left. They're almost all, unfortunately, really far away, so I'll have to hurry. Man, I was not expecting to start a timed, very long exam right when I was meaning to actually be done. So, oops. Anything useful in here? This is where the periodic table is, which is kind of helpful, but unfortunately it doesn't actually tell me what any of these things are. So let me think about it. I'm also hoping my phone doesn't run out of battery, because it very well might. Carbon, yes, carbon is C. Yes, carbon is C. Below helium is actually, I think, neon. Yeah. MT is it on here? MT? There's HO. I know Y exists. Yeah, there's Y. So I'm looking for MT or LL. MT. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so LL. Is the not real one. Okay, AG. Yeah, that's silver for sure, because it's right above gold, which is AU. Okay, and then uranium, I think, is U. Carbon is C. Radon. What is radon? I don't know. Is it RN? And then chlorine is Cl. So I think radon is the one that can't be used to spell clues. I'm timed, I need to hurry. Okay. Where's grade 5? It's further this way. It's grade 4. This is grade 5. Oh. I see. Okay. There's a deer or something, stag, pry, flan, car, Plain, bride. Okay. I forgot they were all there. Okay, time to go back. If I see one I don't recognize, then that'll be it. Right, going all the way up. I think that's all I needed to check. No, I was also going to check the map. Which room was the map in? That is the question. Grade 4, right? That's fine. I have steps. I just need to hurry. Right, so they went north and then northeast or west or something until they got to somewhere. I also wanted to look at, maybe I'll just take a picture of this. That might be helpful. Doop. There we go. Although my phone might give out, which is unfortunate. Okay. Right. What I want to do is go to grade 6, I think, which is not here, because that's grade 7. Grade 6 is up in the East Hall. That's fine. We can look. Right. Next slide, please. That seems to be don't know. Okay. Gotta go back. Got lots of answers to fill out. I think it's just up here and all the way across, right? Yes. Man, this really took the whole time. That is kind of insane. Okay. Arriving at Trinsdale. Oh, I didn't even see that on the map. Oris seemed to be the most south, I think. So I guess he could be in Araja if he went north. But I'm gonna go with Oris. Okay. Carbon is correct. Neon is correct there. LL is the one that's missing. Silver. Radon. Oh. I think I saw the word Morning Bay. Don't know. How many cities and fen areas are larger than Reddington? Probably just Oris and Fen, right? I'll go with 2. Seems likely. Pry, Flan, Bride, Jungle was definitely not in there. Guess I could have guessed that one. I'm gonna go with Realize. I'm pretty sure this would be Oris. I think this would probably be the Colossus. Oh boy. I meant to look at the map to see if the number 46 was on there. All right. It's complete. Oh, okay. Well, I'll see my results tomorrow, I guess. Okay. Do I have enough steps to make it down to the break room? That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, I do. Yeah. So we are going to go there and call it a day. My goodness. That was insane. I was not expecting anything like that to happen ever in this game, and certainly not today, mostly because I wasn't expecting to finish the classroom stuff today. But I'm glad we did, and hopefully we get like another chance at that if we didn't do too well. But I feel like I did fairly decently. Yeah, guess we're calling it. Alrighty. Well, I don't know if there's that much to say about this episode, because I think that last part is mostly the new stuff that happened today. I did get to look at the gallery, which was confusing, and I might need to spend some time thinking about that. But the main part of it was that exam at the end. Yeah, insane. Can't wait to figure out, or to find out how well we did. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider leaving a like or a positive comment, because that really helps me out. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!